I almost didn't film today because I feel kind of lazy. But then I started to think, am I actually lazy or do I need to rest? Welcome to a new episode, Mid Thoughts. As you can tell, for the first time, not the same setup because I'm at my parents' place. I'm doing my daughterly duty to cat sit the cats, and it's so funny because my last video was like some random facts about me, and there I even talked about the cats, so it's like kind of like the puzzle pieces are coming in, which I just love. And I just didn't want to do anything today. I went out anyways, and the moment I stepped out, I was like, you know what, I hate this. I just want to go back. And you know, these days sometimes they just exist. Sometimes you're lucky and you go out and then you'll be like, oh, you know, I'm so glad I went out. And sometimes you'll be like, I want to go back. And it was such a day today where I just wanted to go back. And I have so many video ideas lately, but I just didn't feel like I was in the mental space. And I was like, you know, this topic about laziness, it's honestly a topic which I've been struggling personally so much with it. And it's in a way a new sort of mid-thought series because I do not really have opinion about this. Like the other topics I somehow already had like a position, but this is honestly a topic I've been struggling with so much. So yeah, so it's definitely something I'm still figuring out. So you know what, let's just, you know, embrace it. I have here my blanket, you know, nice candles. They're not real, by the way, don't get panic. Don't get panic. And I just made myself comfort food because I will not like put myself down. I went out today anyways, despite feeling like this, so I can be proud of myself. You can be proud of yourself if you watch it on a video, if you watch it on a day like this. You can be proud of ourselves. So like I said in the get to know me video, I love lemon stuff. I put some ice in it, so this yummy, so good. Actually, I'm not planning to do an ASMR, but I'm going to present you anyways what I'm going to snack. My guilty pleasure food is instant ramyun, obviously, and it's I think it's shin ramyun and the stir fry creamy cheese. I don't know. Anyways, I made them. And listen, I always eat with chopsticks. It's something I need to protect my pride here. I just don't know where my parents have the chopsticks. I'm sure they have chopsticks. I just don't know where. But for real, don't worry. I'm not going to eat on camera because I don't know. I'm not planning a ASMR career. Though I thought about it for some time. It's like a reward for real. So like I said in the beginning, I honestly had different plans for today. Like I have a lot of ideas to film, and I instantly, you know, I'm not even sure how I felt, to be honest. I feel like for me, there's always a feeling of guilt, and I'm not really sure who I feel guilty towards, you know. Is it me? Maybe, likely, or that you like kind of judge yourself out of society view? Because on one hand, I know I'm a perfectionist and I'm also very ambitious. I have a lot of goals, a lot of ideas I want to do, and also pretty high standards to myself. When I look at my own social media intake, I literally watch both things. Like my algorithm is to one half, you know, mental health matters, of course, like I'm a psychology student, you know, you need rest, just the importance of health. But on the other hand, my algorithm is also like very empowering, like power women, business women, and look what these women did, look at this business, look at these young people that, you know, start gaining money. And I think like both of these things are clashing, and I think it's also the same in society, though I think like the other bubbles like mostly enforced, which is, you know, obviously that like the whole hustle culture is like very big. And what I grew up with was just honestly glorified stress somehow. Like I don't know if it's a German thing, okay? But just people here, they can talk so much about how tired they are. I'm not better. But because they overwork themselves, and then like some sort of competition just, you know, happens. Like, oh yeah, like I just fell asleep at 4 a.m. because I had to finish this and this. Oh really? You know, like I didn't even sleep like for 1 week because this has been stressing me out so much. I don't know. It's just like, it's kind of sad, honestly. Like, we kind of get not really something for how much you're stressing, right? Like, of course, the stress is kind of the price you pay to get good results, but no one is like, oh, this is how your stress showed. Here, the cherry. And I'm really happy that mental health is a topic more and more people talk about in social media, for example. But we still, I think, tend to call us lazy too quickly. And I think it's so interesting because the first thing that came to my head is, you know, somehow it was like a generational topic, but I think it was like having shorter work weeks, so just like 4 work days than 5, and it seemed like really to turn into a generational debate. and that the like old generations called the younger ones lazy, which I thought was so interesting, kind of disappointing to see, because I just cannot fathom the idea that no one would want to work less somehow. Maybe I will look to this video when I'm, like 40 or 50 and be like, such a young woman, she has no idea, maybe. But like out of my current viewpoint, I just don't really understand it. And when I just see how much we rush through things and how much we work and how much is going on like in the world besides our private issues and everything, isn't it so understandable to just wanting to rest? And then we just somehow call it being lazy. I wanted to go to a forest for so long. There were quite some forests around me, but just to take the time out of my day-to-day life, when I had so much stuff to do, to just go to a forest because I wanted to, was for me so hard to just do. And I think after like 2 weeks or something, I finally managed to do it. And I just went there and sat down to a bench, and I just, remember sitting there leaning back, and my thoughts just started like drifting, and I was thinking about it like in a way, like I was taking care of myself and I wasn't being lazy. But in some degree, I think there wasn't necessarily the thought, oh, you're being lazy, but that I was like kind of like doing something that is not as important. And I think that's like kind of the same judgment that goes into being lazy. Like it's almost like we learned that not doing something productive, which we can also talk about, like is being, like relaxing, not being productive. Anyways, I think maybe that's a different discussion. I don't know. I need to see if I can remember that in a moment. But the moment we feel like we're not doing something productive, we somehow learn that this is bad. I think it's very likely because of our school system. Like I remember one incident, and maybe you can relate. I was in elementary school and I finished the task. We had like a workbook and I did like the whole page. And I'm an extremely creative person. Oh, the cat is coming. Hello. Her name is Twinker. I don't know if you can see her. It looks like I'm just petting the couch. You can see her ears. How cute. Anyways, I finished my task, which was like the page. And since I'm very creative and already was, I just, scribbled a little bit. I think it was like wasting time, maybe a little bit self-regulation, whatever. My teacher came and she leans down to me and she's like, you were supposed to finish the task, not draw. And I was just looking at her because I was one of these like quiet and polite girls. I was just like, what? I was like, I already finished it. And she was like, oh, okay, well, like she was like trying to reason or whatever. I don't know. Like embarrassing for her, I guess. I hope she cannot sleep because she remembers me. That's like so odd. And we just kind of learn it. And I feel like it just sticks with us that even when we're alone, we just kind of feel like we have to punish us for taking care of ourselves because that's just what it is. So I was sitting in the forest, reflecting, and because I was like kind of going over the word being lazy. And for me, being lazy or like also just relaxing was kind of just, like being on a sofa, watching TV, eating unhealthy, like basically what I'm doing right now. Sometimes it helps you, but not always. But I somehow grew up with like, this is one of the ways you relax and load up energy again, which was so wrong. And just later, like in the early 20s, so like kind of right now, I'm learning that there are way more ways to kind of load energy again. And for me, honestly, it's being alone. I tried for a long time to really gain energy being with other people, but I really do believe that like solitude and being alone is the ideal place for me to just unload. Also with animals. So by the way, there are like more cats around here. Just like I'm like animals everywhere. Just adore them. And they're like a great example for like just really embracing it, right? Different ways to ground myself and to relax for different mental states. For example, today, you know, I went a little bit overboard, okay? Not to the point of a burnout, not at all, like not even close. But socially wise, I didn't want to go out. Body wise, I didn't sleep well. So I kind of like overstepped very much like most limits I had for the day. So today, I decided my way of relaxing will be instant ramen and oh my god, my one of my favorite drinks, and just sitting here yapping to you. And when I'm done, I'm gonna watch my favorite German Let's Play playing Life is Strange, the new, like, I don't even know. I actually don't know what the part is called, but like where Chloe and Max meet again. Was that a spoiler? Creativity can be very nice too if I have like more energy and inspiration, of course, which is so sad, you know. I feel like the most inspiration I have when I would feel really shitty. But when I feel really shitty, I do not always have energy to transfer that shittiness into art. I'm not really sure if you can like unlearn and relearn your relaxing methods. Like I said, a part of me believes that I cannot really use social contacts to relax, though it doesn't count for anyone. There are people I find more exhausting on my stress and my mental health than others. Not necessarily meant like, oh, you're exhausting and I don't like you. It's just, you know, at different levels what it demands of me, and that's totally fine too. But I also know like that I want to learn to open up to more people, you know, like accept more help, let more people in. So I think it like kind of builds on top of each other. So I don't know, tell me your opinion about it. And you can also tell me your ways, like how do you, you know, relax or like be lazy the best way. I've also been trying to work on is to take care of myself more in a preventing way, because I originally started yoga for actually physical pain, which was manifested stress. And I've been doing it, and I truly believe, of course, I sometimes feel stress, but I feel it less in my body. And it's so for me to like be like, oh yeah, do yoga now, you know, like get into the zen with me. Nothing like this. But I'm just like trying that maybe we can do like relaxing before something happens. More mindful relaxing, you know, like really being like not going into bed and go on your phone, but be like, you know, I'm making myself this pretty. Like for you, it may not be it, but for me, this is making it mindfully pretty. Pretty, mindful laziness. Also, rituals that are something you can look forward to. For example, for me, it's bathing. The moment I just get into that water, I just forget it. I just know, okay, this is a space now for me to block off. Know what happens when you do not take care of your mental health, and that is way above the judgment of being lazy, or you know, like not focusing, not being, not not working hard, whatever. Like I know who I am, I know what I do, I know that I'm hardworking. And that's like such an interesting phenomenon. The people that fear certain things or being certain things are often the least likely to be certain things. It's so ironic in the best way possible. I'm definitely working on it. It's like a very active progress I'm doing right now. And you know, investing time into my mental health and relaxing just as much as I'm investing time into being a good student and working hard. Because both is for me, right? Like one part is for me what other people see, and one part is for me what other people indirectly see. Because they will notice if my mental health isn't well, but they do not care. They will not praise you, or like the most people will not praise you if you take care of yourself. They would just like judge you if you do not, because then they will notice. So in the end, you just got to do it all for yourself. That's the best thing. Just do it for yourself, because if you do it for yourself, it all will be worth it. Being lazy, taking care of yourself, and working hard. So you know, maybe I'm not being lazy. Maybe I'm just taking care of myself with my ramyeon. Not necessarily body health, but mental health. And they affect each other, so you know, maybe it's not that bad. Anyways, that was my video about laziness, and I would be so curious about how you spent your mental health lazy days, taking care of myself days. I gotta go. You take your time and relax very nicely today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, obviously. So see you next time. Bye bye.